What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are hitting back. I'm currently throwing ball outside with my dogs and the weather is horrible. But today we're gonna be hitting back, nothing crazy. We're gonna be emphasizing more of the, what would you say, the width of back, because in regards to thickness, I have some pretty good lats, some pretty overdeveloped lats. I'm trying to build the upper back rear delt portion, really get that Dorito shape. But besides that, I think we'll just walk you through the back day as we go through it, because obviously I can plan out as much as I want, but things always change depending on how packed the gym is, what's available, things like that. But no crazy plan for today, just gonna show you that workout. Hopefully you can take something away from that. Also might show you, maybe we'll do some sort of Bible study, or maybe I'll have some sort of topic that comes up throughout the day that I want to talk with you guys about. But daily vlog number 3, I love this. I love that I'm doing this. I'm trying to do Monday through Friday, but it'll be on like a delay. So I'm thinking like the Monday workout will be posted on Tuesday, so on and so forth. So the Friday workout will actually be posted on Saturdays, and then that gives me Sunday off. So that's the plan. I think that's going to lead to great growth. I'm excited. I love doing the vlogging. So let's go ahead and dive into day number 3 of daily vlogs. We're about to start working on the Sportster here soon. We got the hardtail, sissy bar, fender, oil, tank, everything that we're gonna have to do. We have to take everything apart, take the motor out, take the tank off, everything. It's gonna come apart. We're gonna saw it in half, put that new frame on, do the whole rear end. Probably gonna get some new bars from TC Bros, but I'm super excited. We're gonna start wrenching on that probably within the next week. Starting out with these high cable rows. Now with us trying to emphasize that upper back, the width portion of our back, I'm throwing these in first because I want to emphasize them. Any movement that, or I guess muscle group that you want to emphasize, I would throw them in at the beginning of your workout, just so that you can get them out of the way. I see a lot of people often say that they're, trying to emphasize a muscle group, whether it's like their shoulders or rear delts or some sort of lacking muscle group, and then they throw them in at the end of their workout. So if I have a muscle group that I'm trying to emphasize, I'm going to throw it in at the beginning. So starting out with these, my only cues on these is setting the bench or seat somewhat low, and then kind of, I don't want to be in an uncomfortable position, but I'm kind of forcing myself to have my hands rotated like this instead of here. Once I start coming here, it becomes more of a lat row. But when I keep my hands, perpendicular to where my body's going, it forces a lot of that rear delt, a lot of that upper back activation. So that's kind of what we're emphasizing here. We're gonna do 4 sets on this, probably go to those lat pull downs that we've been doing lately, and see where we go from there. Okay, so with these lat pull downs, you could call them, I can kind of consider them more of a high row. With these leaning back, really trying to pull with our rear delts, with our traps, just with our upper back in general, you'll kind of feel that upper, almost lat area under your armpit also activate. And that's the goal. With lats, we're focusing more on pulling down here this direction, but with these, we're almost going up here like that. And we'll move on to more of a lat bias, lat pull down. We'll just go ahead and do it on a machine instead of these, because I feel it more on those. Another thing with these is when I'm doing more of a lat bias pull down, my hands will be a little bit tighter so I can get that pull down in front of me. But with these, hands are a lot wider, leaning back, stretch there. So moving on to the sort of lat pull down variation, I guess you could call them. Our lat pull down machine was taken up, or the two that I was going to use. Oh, excuse me. So this is kind of what we were going to do after. Now with these, I like to think of them kind of as a mix between a lat pull down and a lat pull over. To me, they feel like the perfect thing for a lat, because if you think about that lat, it spans from the back or the bottom of your back all the way up here to the front of your armpit. So the more in front of you that arm is stretched up and out, the better. And that's exactly what these do. They stretch up and out, and then they allow you to come down and really squeeze that lat. So these are something for sure that are kind of unique, but if they work for you, if they feel good, then they're amazing. One thing you may notice on these as well is I am leaning forward, head forward on that stretch, but on that pull down, I'm leaning back and pulling the ropes in between my chest and the bench. And that allows for that deep stretch and that deep contraction. So now kind of finishing off our lats, I guess you could say. I guess everything back basically works lats, but these are very lat biased, these pull downs. Also those pullover / pull down things we just did. With these, my butt is further back, I'm kind of scooting back and pulling the weight kind of down in front of me and thinking about pulling with the back of my arm, my tricep and elbow area, down and back. It's gonna kill your lats. After this, I think we'll go to a sort of a mid-back row and then rear delts. We'll do some rear delt flies and cardio and get out of here. Come All right, so as you saw, the back pump was insane. At least that, like that lat spread was crazy. I gotta work on my rear double bicep. I know I have the back for it, like to have a freaky rear double bicep. My shoulders are jacked up and I think it kind of screws up how I do my rear double bicep. So I need to get in contact with maybe a posing coach or someone who's done a couple shows and see if I can get that down. Because one of those, like I know I have a good back, so just a matter of kind of critiquing some things and really getting that nice, crazy Dorito look when it comes to doing the rear double bicep. But moving on to cardio, we got this thing on level 18, which is like, you know, the levels for cardio are different for everything, or different for every machine. But I have all my clients do the elliptical at a very high level. So it's usually around a range where your heart rate's at like probably 130 to 150, somewhere in there. So for me, that's at level 18 on here. I think the max this goes to is 25. So I would say somewhere in that like upper quarter range. So like say it's 1 to 25, I would go in that top 25% range, just very high, but enough to where you can be kind of out of breath and have a conversation like I'm doing right now, which I'm gonna up it just a little. So right now, because I'm bulking,
I'll do 20 to 30 minutes, nothing really crazy. 20 to 30 minutes on the elliptical, probably 4 or 5 times a week. When I'm cutting, I will do cardio every day for typically 45 minutes to sometimes, if I'm really getting crazy, I'll go close to 90 minutes, which I don't really recommend, but if you want to see almost like show like results, show leanness, getting that single digit body fat down in those like low 3 to 6 range, you really have to up the cardio because you get to a point where you can't cut out any more calories. You'll just freaking feel like horrible. The topic I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about today was kind of a mental health topic. It really evolves or revolves around keeping yourself busy. And for me, I found working out was a really good thing for me. And then on top of working out, which a lot of you guys already probably work out, finding something like a hobby or something that you do outside of work that you take a lot of joy in. And it doesn't even have to be like real crazy exciting. It doesn't have to be a game or doesn't have to be like any kind of physical activity, just something that like takes your mind off of whatever that may be stressing you out. So for me, that's working on my motorcycle and riding my motorcycle. And when I'm doing that kind of stuff, I'm not thinking about anything else. And it's so nice to have those mental breaks. And I think one of the biggest issues with mental health in the US, and I'm not super strong on like my opinions in regards to all that, but I think a big contributor to our poor mental health is people are bored. People aren't doing enough things that, one, they take joy in, and two, that like can just take their mind away from honestly just thinking, overthinking. One of the biggest issues is overthinking. Whether it's overthinking like work or overthinking your goals or overthinking even your mind, like overthinking your thoughts and like your self-perception, I guess you could say. So having something that takes your mind off of things is so big, just mental health. I mean, that's why meditation is so nice and helps people so much, is because meditation in and of itself, if you do it right, silences your brain and just kind of makes you focus on one thing. And finding something that mimics meditation is even better because, one, you can do something that's fun, but also take your mind off things. And one thing you'll realize when you start to kind of do these things that you enjoy or like find a hobby, you kind of learn more about yourself and you kind of almost go back to your child roots, right? That purity that you had when you were a child, it kind of makes you kind of ground yourself, makes you remember that feeling of being a child and just like having no worries in the world, just being yourself. And those interests and things that you pick up are kind of a direct reflection of that. For me, as a child, I always loved working on things with my hands, being outside, making stuff. I was always like crafting things together, whether it was like making hatchets or something with my brother because we loved Assassin's Creed. So we try to make his hatchet or other various little knickknacks. But I think that's why I love working on my motorcycle. And what I'm trying to say is working on my motorcycle, or for you guys finding that interest, kind of grounds you and takes you back to like what it is you really, really love doing. And honestly, kind of like what your purpose in life is. Or maybe not your purpose, but like one of the core things that God put you on this earth to like really enjoy. Obviously you have bigger overall arching purposes, but I think God put me on this earth with that desire, with that interest in working on things with my hands. And I guess today's takeaway is to obviously work out. It's a great tool for mental health, but also find something you love doing. One thing I've noticed is I love showing you guys my motorcycle stuff, but at the same time, that's kind of like my time. And it's almost better for me not to film that stuff because it's my mental break from this, from work, you know, from recording, from being a content creator. Find something that you can do and just go off into space, not even think about anything else because you're so locked in, you're so engaged. But with that being said, I hope you guys liked today's little vlog, little lift, little back workout, and took something away from it. And I want to officially announce here on YouTube that I am starting a school community for Christian men and women who love lifting as well. Really, it's just a community where you guys can engage with me, engage with my other followers, and really talk about anything, but the overarching idea is Christian lifters. But the topics can be anything, as long as we're having fun, talking back and forth, making a difference in this world. So the link to that will be down below. You can request to join, I'll accept you in. And then also on there, if you're interested, I have all of my things like my one-on-one fitness coaching. I have my 6-week workout program if you don't want to do the coaching. And then I also have a new course that I'm coming out with, which isn't done yet, but it will be on there. And that's the Faith, Fitness, and Focus course, which is a little bit more expensive, but I'm really trying to put a lot of effort into it for you guys. It's basically just going to be a course that covers all of the 3 aspects that I think are really important. That being your faith, your fitness, and your mental state. You know, they all are great. You know, without all 3 working together, life can get hard. You know, you can be really close to God, but if you're struggling with your fitness, you know, that can hold you back. Or maybe like you're killing it in the gym, but your mental state isn't where it needs to be. So the goal of this program, this course, is to walk you guys through building all 3 of those areas. So it's going to be a good introduction to following Christ, a good introduction to a workout program and dieting advice. And then lastly, some mental skills building. I've worked together with some Christian leaders that I know, and also some sports psychologists who work this program together to offer you guys something really cool. So that's in the works right now. Looking forward to that, but go check out the community. Overall, I just want to have a space where you and I can connect and spread love. So remember, guys, love God, lift weights, and live life. We'll see you guys next time.